Believing in your dreams is one of those hard things in life, and I definitely understand it can be challenging, and wanting to take the leap and have the faith to chase something that you've always dreamed of doing is one of those risks that you feel like you shouldn't take or whatever. And coming from someone that's taken the leap of faith and has made all her dreams come true by just jumping and having faith and listening to that little intuition and nudge, it was the best decision of my life. I say that because I've had so many dreams and things I wanted to do in life. And, back then, I never been on an airplane. I never been on vacation by myself. I've only been on vacation with family. And that was 15 years before I even came to wanting to chase my dreams. I've also, it was one of those things where I never had a nice apartment before. I lived in crappy apartments, roaches, everything else. And I never had a nice place to live. And I was always struggling with money. So, one year I was kind of working in a warehouse, and I had that intuition on your heart, and my heart just saying I needed more in life. And at that time, I was going to college to be a personal trainer, and I've always wanted to be a personal trainer. I wanted to be a personal trainer I've been saying it on my Facebook since, 2010, since I started fitness. And it was about 2018, 19. So, no, it was about 2000 and I graduated 18. So it was about 2017, 16. I started saying, I was like, all right, this job is cool, but it's not something I want to do forever. But I wasn't graduated yet. So I ended up graduating in 2018. And I stayed in my warehouse job for another year because I was cool. I didn't have problems, but I feel like the universe or God or whatever you believe in truthfully will give you a nudge when it's time to leave and time to grow if you're listening. And with the world, there's a lot of noise, and people feel so lost nowadays. And all I can say is you feel lost because you're so surrounded by noise all the time and listening to other people and seeing other people's journeys from social media. And that's why I tell people, I said, if you take a social media break, you'll really find what you want to do with your life. And connecting with the universe or God, personally, it's God for me, will really show you where you need to go. And I promise you, when you clear the noise out, you will find what you want to do with your life and you won't feel so lost. And learning how to meditate and sit in silence is so important. So, I had that nudge for a very long time, and I was getting annoyed at work. And that's another thing. Stuff will start pushing you out. You'll start getting annoyed. People will start getting on your nerves. Things will start falling apart. Relationships of mine started falling apart. I wanted to move up, and they were like, no, people just don't like me. So it was, even though I was a really hard worker, I couldn't move up. It was everything I was trying to do. It was just going against me. And that is one of those things where I tell people, I said, that is your key right there. When things start pushing against you and it is not moving forward and you're stressed out all the time, it's time to go, honey. It's time to go. And I think one of those things, it's so hard to want to take the leap of faith. So, I graduated and I had no net. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna ride on faith. And now me and God weren't really close back then. I was close to him to a point. But I think what helped is I wasn't really distracted by TikTok, social media. I had social media, but I wasn't really into social media like that. And I think COVID really fucked people up. And now people are dependent on social media and it kills me. But self-discipline is a thing, guys. And if you want to find what you want to do in life and you don't want to feel so lost, you have to step away from social media, period, fucking blank. So, I took the leap. I quit my job. No safety net, no nothing. Now, my mind was like, I'm going to do this shit because personal training was something I loved. I could talk about it forever. I knew the knowledge. I've been doing it forever. I understand being a beginner. Like, I could relate to people. So it was one of those things that wasn't hard. Now, I got distracted a little bit, dating people and so on. I was kind of just living life, and I was the happiest person ever. And so, I've had some fumbles through there, and I've had to keep people to catch me. But, when I was chasing a dream and I stopped worrying about things and I just started trusting and chasing something I really wanted, everything worked out. People ask me all the time, how the fuck did you pay your car payment? How the fuck did you pay your phone bill? And I look at them and I say, God. Because I swear, when that man says he double time with like the food and stuff in the Bible verse, he did that with my money. Because I could tell you now that I have no clue. I just had faith and I trusted fully. Like, on God. Like, I jumped. I would fill my gas tank up. Everything would just multiply. And I know it's a struggle because I'm like right there right now with you, and struggling and trying to have trust or faith in this next process of life. And I don't know why. I think it's because I've been distracted by so many noises and not wanting to focus on truly what I want and listening to my heart, because I have other noises trying to tell me different things. And I think that's another thing. Like, that's why I think people have to take breaks from social media if you really want to find what you're doing and truly have that trust and faith. And a lot of people are frustrated. They're like, well, I feel like I've been in isolation mode forever. And like, I understand. I'm here now. But isolation still requires you to work. You can't expect to get blessings if you're not working towards something you want or truly want in a less selfish way. For me, personally, I love helping people. I love spreading news. I love telling people of the journey I've been through. And with my business that I had in the past, I worked my ass off to get there. But God supported me through everything. Paid rent, everything. Like, I don't know how, but I got everything I prayed for. I wanted a vacation. I got that. Did it take me a little bit? Yes. I got income that could support me, and I wasn't stressing all the time. I could buy things I've never bought before. Before in the past, I never been able to go out. I was never be able to afford that stuff, and I did it. I'm going to tell you this now. It took me about 6 months to really get to where I was. I lived with my abusive ex for 4 months out of that, because I had nowhere to live, because I still needed to be in town, because my parents lived down in the country, an hour away from my job. And God will open doors for you as well, or the universe or whatever. When you're looking into something, God will open those doors. So for me, I didn't want to train at a gym. The gym was not happening, because I understand how the gym works, and I understand that I don't want to train people on how the gym wants me to train people. I want to train people for how I want to train people, because I understand how people work. Not everyone's the same. I prayed that. God said, bet, open that door in a gym across the place I never knew. I didn't even know this area. I lived on the other side of town. I was like, I've never been over here. I was over there for the zoo, and I was like, I've always wanted to live here. And when you have that pool in a certain area, that's another thing. When you feel that pull in an area you don't really know about, or another state, and you're like, I don't know why I want to be there or why I like that place, that's probably the universe or God calling you that it's time that you need to go there eventually. That is your promised land in the future. And I'm saying that from personal experience with living in a place, and I was like, I want to live here. Everyone's like, why? I said, I don't know. I just like it. Don't know that side of town. Never been there. And also, it was one of those things where I didn't know that side. I didn't know anybody over there. It was very nerve-wracking because I didn't know the area. I didn't know anybody. But I think what helped was me just having that drive and trusting. So, that gym opened up on the other side of town. I was like, okay, this is the side of town we'll live on. I don't know the fuck I'm going. Ended up always having to pull the map up. I ended up going up there, looking at this gym. It was a personal trainer gym. I would pay rent, so on. And I was like, okay, this is the door. This is the door. You open the door. Okay. So that's when you have to take the leap. When you see the door open, you just gotta fucking take that shit. You just gotta take that shit. And that's so hard to do because it was kind of like, okay, I'm about to pay rent at this place. I don't even have the money to pay rent at this place, guys. Like, I'm like, all right, God, I hear you. Okay. And I was working my ass off, guys. I was posting every day. I would never, and one thing is, like, I really do think if you're like a creative person like me, when you just work on your business and you stop scrolling and stop worrying about the noise, that was the best fucking thing I did. And I can promise you, when you are more focused on posting and putting out the word, that's what I did. Always posting, always putting facts, always putting like educational, relatable stuff because I understand how it feels to be a fucking beginner. I was there. It comes together. And I took the leap. I saw the door. And I was like, all right, God, bet. I signed up from this gym. I was still living with my abusive ex. Now, I was in the same bed as this man. Were we sleeping together? No, we were not. I wasn't going to. That man is psychotic. And I praise God that he was chill. I didn't pay rent. I didn't really pay for anything, honestly. He was helping me out a lot, but he always helped me out. We were together for a while. And like I said, that was God working in my favor because he can put people in your life that'll help you on to the next destination or the universe or whatever you believe in. At the end of the day, you still got to meditate. You still gonna have to connect with some type of higher power to get to where you want to be. Period fucking blank. So, I take this leap of faith. This man is obviously on opposite schedules. He works nights. I work AMs. Thank God. By the time he was back, I was slumped. And then by the time I woke up, he was sleeping. So it worked out. So, I'm only getting a client or two. Not enough to pay my rent or anything or to pay rent. So I'm doing this drive like 30 minutes. I had a client that was like at 5 a.m. in the morning. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning to get up for his client. But I was motivated. I was like, I'm going to do this shit. Back then I drove a stick shift and, I eventually got rid of that shit because I can't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I could not do a stick shift. So, driving that far and in the city, in the traffic, it was just too much. So, 6 months goes by. I'm still working my ass off. I'm tired, guys. I'm really tired. And I was like, damn, like I want something to happen eventually. Shit started picking up. Finally started getting enough clients. Finally got to a point where I could live by myself. Okay. In the area I wanted to live. Okay. Was it the best apartment ever? No. Did it do? Yes. Was it decent, living space? Yes. Blessing be to God. Then I was like, all right, I can get a car now. God bless. My car, I did not want to go up higher in a car payment. My car payment was $100 more. I went from $200 to $380. And I was like, oh God, that's so much. And, everyone's like, that's really not a lot. Nowadays, it's not a lot. But that was back in 2019. So, still trusting in God. I never had lack of faith or trust. And it sucks because nowadays I do. And I think it's because I'm surrounded by so many noises and bullshit and everything else. That's why I say you just gotta cut that shit off. So, I do it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this. It gets paid. It gets paid again. It gets paid again. Because I had a faith fully and trusted God. And I continue to hustle. Okay. My rent went up. In the gym and the apartment. It started croping up over year and year. Could pay it because of God. I was always kind of nervous. And I was like, and then God just figured it out. COVID came around. Okay. This is where your faith and your dreams of what you want truly have to align. And you have to truly want it and trust and have faith that it's going to work out. COVID came around. My gym closed. I lost my whole business. And the funny thing about it is I wasn't stressed. I still had faith and trust. And I was like, thank God, I needed a break. I was so burned out. And, during that time, I should have listened to myself because I was like, kind of falling out of training. I was kind of like in that position of like, okay, like this is cool, but I'm tired. COVID happened. Thank God for COVID, because that's when my grandpa passed away. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have been able to see him before that happened. And, you know, you want to think I made it through, but I did. Car payments still got paid somehow. I got a job, didn't really work out, kind of left the job because they're toxic. I just don't think I'm meant for a job. I don't think I'm meant for a normal job. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I am supposed to be an entrepreneur, because every job I get into, I try to stay there, and it's always some bullshit keeping me from staying there. Like, time-wise, or my body hurts or something like that. And, like, when you got carpal tunnel, that shit, yeah. So, you know, it was kind of one of those things. I was like, all right, bet. And quit the job, and my rent was coming up, and I was like, fuck. Y'all, this is how God works, okay? Still having trust and faith. I just forgot about it. I forgot about my rent. I was so focused on rebuilding my business. I get a phone call, and I was like, hi, like, I know my rent is late. And she's like, oh, no, actually, I just wanted to call you and tell you that someone gave you the voucher that we had, the raffle we were going on, that we pay the free rent. Like, you would get free rent if you won the raffle. This person won the raffle, and he already paid his rent, and he wanted to give it to you because he heard your story. When I heard that phone call, I remember dropping to my knees and crying so hard because I was so worried about it. And this person gave me that raffle to pay my rent, and then I was good and cool from then on, because things started opening back up. And I'm going to tell you, that's how it works. The hardest part is having that trust and faith, ride and die type trust and faith. And it's hard because you're in a time now where shit's in the fan and everything around you is like blowing up. And it's just like, you're like, fuck. And you just don't think shit's gonna work out. And that's why I tell people that you gotta cut the noise out sometimes. And I understand, I am currently in a transition now. I felt that little push, you know, that little thing I felt before I started training. And when the universe or God, or whatever you believe in, put something on your heart, and you start feeling that push of resistance towards whatever you're in now, go chase it. I know it's scary. I know it's one of those things where you're like, I don't even know how I'm going to figure things out. When you truly love something and you truly want something so bad, you'll figure it out. Just go. There are so many people that jumped and made it. You will make it. So I just want to tell you all my story of how my faith and chasing my dreams got me to where I'm at now. And I'm going through another direction right now. I'm still kind of like doing the workout fitness things, but not fully. It's one of those things where sometimes your dreams change, and I'm definitely the type to know that I have a lot of things I'm good at, and I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about. And fitness is, I'm good at it, but I don't think it's truly that I'm passionate about it enough to do it for the rest of my life, you know, be a trainer and stuff. It's not like I mind doing that, but I love fashion. I love helping people. I love helping people feel better in their bodies and stuff like that. I love, like, on video talking and giving inspirational words and stuff. My cat, man. But yeah, so I hope that gave you some insight, and I hope that encouraged you a little bit. And yeah, I know this is like kind of a long video, but yeah. So yeah, I hope you go chase your dreams and live and learn, because life is too short to not take a risk.